Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a huge question, a real head-scratcher that has puzzled mathematicians and philosophers for literally thousands of years. Is mathematics a fundamental part of nature, or is it a uniquely human creation?
So let's play this out with a little thought experiment. Imagine we actually make contact with an alien civilization from a galaxy far, far away, a world that's completely different from ours. Would they even have math? And if they did, would it look like anything like ours? Or would math just not exist at all, without intelligent life to dream it up?
Okay, so first things first, we gotta be clear on what we're actually talking about here. Math is really two separate things. You've got the abstract concepts, like the pure idea of 5 things. And then you have the language, the symbols we use to write that idea down, like the number 5, or a Roman numeral V, or the word cinco. The language can obviously change, but the real debate is about the core concept itself.
All right, so let's start with one side of the coin. The idea that these concepts were always here, just woven into the fabric of the universe, waiting for us to stumble upon them. This is the argument for math as a discovery.
You know, big thinkers like Plato and the astronomer Galileo Galilei, they were all in on this idea. Plato argued that mathematical truths were just as real as planets, existing in some perfect form long before humans ever showed up. For them, the natural world itself was just a physical expression of these timeless mathematical laws. And this is where it gets really cool, because we can actually see these truths playing out in the world all around us. A perfect example, the famous Fibonacci sequence. Now, it was originally used to describe something completely imaginary, the breeding population of perfect rabbits. But here's the absolutely wild part. That same pattern isn't just for imaginary rabbits. We found it's like a fundamental blueprint for how things grow, almost everywhere you look. It's in the number of petals on a flower, the way trees branch out, the perfect spiral of a nautilus shell. It even scales all the way up to the cosmic level, shaping the vast spiral arms of galaxies. I mean, come on, that can't be a coincidence, right? It's a huge point for team discovery.
And check this out. The predictive power of math is just mind-blowing. Back in 1916, Albert Einstein's equations told him that these things called gravitational waves had to exist. He basically saw them in the math. But it took us a whole century to build technology sensitive enough to actually detect them. So math was describing a part of our universe long before we could ever prove it was there.
So the case for discovery is looking pretty solid. The patterns are everywhere, the predictions check out. But hold on. What about the math that doesn't seem to have any basis in the real physical world? Let's flip the script and look at the other side of this debate. This is the argument that math isn't something we found, but something we as humans invented. A powerful language, a set of tools we created to make sense of the world. Think about the number 0 for a second. We kind of take it for granted, but it was a total game changer, invented back in the 7th century. On one level, sure, it means nothing, but its real genius is as a placeholder, a graphical tool. The only thing separating 11 from 101 is that little circle. It's a product of pure human intellect, a brilliant little trick we came up with.
Then you've got the other end of the spectrum, infinity. I mean, you can't go out and find an infinity of apples, right? It's not a number you can count to or a place you can get to. Infinity is a pure concept, a tool we invented to help us solve problems that would be completely impossible otherwise.
And here's the thing. These invented ideas are unbelievably powerful. How do you measure a curved surface like a sphere? Well, you can imagine using an infinite number of tiny, flat lines. We use this abstract idea of infinity to do all sorts of real-world things, like calculating how to keep a satellite in orbit, modeling our financial markets, and even trying to get our heads around the weirdness of quantum mechanics.
Okay, we've looked at both sides. So where do we land in this ancient argument? Was math found or was it made? You know, maybe the most satisfying answer is it's both. It seems like math is the language we use to discover the universe's built-in rules, the deep patterns like gravity in that Fibonacci sequence. But at the same time, it's also this amazing toolbox that we use to invent completely new systems, like the binary code of zeros and ones, a purely invented system that is literally making it possible for you to watch this explainer right now.
And so the debate isn't really over.
Which leaves us with a pretty profound question to chew on. As we keep exploring the universe with our equations, are we simply reading a book that was already written, or are we the ones writing the story? The answer could really change how we see our own place in the whole cosmic story.